Hello everyone, welcome to today's tutorial. This tutorial will be learning how to make a basic body pattern. We'll be needing pattern paper, measuring tape, pair of scissors, marker pen, and roller. So let's get started. First step is to fold our pattern paper into two this way. Then we get our measuring tape to start our measurements. What you need to do is measure 1 inch here. This 1 inch above is a baseline where you need to start all your measurement. Then you come down after the 1 inch and then measure your armhole measurement. Mine is 15. 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. We measure 7.5 here. So this will be the chest line. And after this, measure your bust point line. Mine is 9.5. This is it. And after that, your under bust measurements. Mine is 12.5. And your half length, mine is 16. That is end of our pattern paper. So the next step is to use our ruler to draw a straight line. Okay, let me draft it here again so that we have a perfect line. 1 inch base, 7.5 my armhole, 9.5 my bust point, 12.5 under bust, and 16 my half length. So let's connect the points. Hope my lines are visible. Okay. The next step is to insert our measurements. Now, to get your standard neckline measurement, what you need to do, measure 3 inches here first, and then measure 8 inches. That is the standard neckline measurement, 8 inches. And then you come down by 1 inch and connect this 1 inch to the 3 inches point here to have a slant, because our shoulder is not straight. So it's on this point we now measure our neckline measurements. Prefer to have neckline of 4 inches and depth of, for the front, prefer to have a depth of 4 inches. It can be 4 by 4 inches. You can do yours anyhow you choose to. But for the back line, you either decide to make it high back or low back. If it's a high back, you can use 1.5, any one you want to use. For the low back, you can use 6 or 5. I want mine to be high back, the back measurement, and the front, this low back, which is 4 inches. This will be our 4 inches shoulder measurement, then sew. And this is for the back. So here you have it. The first measurement is for the back, and the second measurement is for the front. So let's go back to the bodies. For the shoulder measurement, for the chest measurement, we got this by measuring our armhole. So we now measure our bust measurement on these points. Measurement is 34. 34 divided by 4 is 8.5. Here I'm measuring 8.5. Then take the measurement of this place. Here is 8, and you bring it down here. And then mark it. And then use our ruler to connect these points. Then the next is to measure our waistline. Because it's just a basic body measurement, these bust point and under points guide you when you want to draft your bustier. Since we are not doing that now, just the basic body measurement, only our bust measurements on the chest line and waist on half length. So my waist measurement is 24 divided by 4 is 6.5. Have it here. Oh, sorry. My waist measurement is 26 divided by 4. That is 6.5. So 6 is 26 inches. Okay. So you connect your bust line to the point here. Now, this line just guides you on the basic neckline. So what you need to do now is to measure your shoulder measurement. Mine is 14.5. So I will measure it from here. 14.5 will give me 7.2. Measure from this point. And I will do the same here, 7.2. That is 7.25, in case you are a bit confused. Then from this point, you measure from this point where we slanted the line from here to this point. From here to here, we have 6.5. Half of 6.5 will be 3.25. You mark that point. Mark that point. You come in by 1/4. Or you can either come in by 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch, but I will do by 1/2 inch. And this point, you connect it to this point this way, and then you connect it all the way so. To your bust points. Now this armhole that we just created is for the front body. For the back body, all you need to just stick with this shoulder line and connect it all the way like this. But remember, we are just drafting on the pattern. We did not add any sewing allowance. Whenever you want to draft on your fabric, please ensure to add 1.5 inches or 2 inches allowance on your fabric. After creating our allowance, the next thing you do is to draft our doubts. So for the doubts, what you need to is get the measurement of your bust point. Mine is 6.5. So divide by 2, 3.2 or 3.25. So we have that here, and then we mark 1/2 inch here and 1/2 inch here. and connect the line above. So what you need to do is, while connecting your dots, connect under bust. So you measure the same 3¼ inch here, and then you connect it this way for your basic body pattern. Then you measure what you have here. Since we'll be taking that off, we need to replace it here, and we'll replace it back here. And then you mark out the new measurements. So this is our new measurement. Connect our armhole to this point. So now, before you cut out your piece, you need to go through what you've measured. Since this is the basic body measurement, you create 1 inch baseline where you started your base measurement from, and your armhole measurement divided by 2, and the bust point line under bust point line, and then half length. For your shoulder measurement, measure your shoulder divided by 2, you mark it. For your bust point measurement, your bust point measurement is your bust point, it's your bust divided by 4. Shoulder is divided by 2, armhole divided by 2, your bust and waist measurement divided by 4. Now, for your neckline, you do the 3 inches, 8 inches standard, you come down by 1 inch, you connect, you mark your neck and your preferred measurement. Mine is 4 by 4. You can either do 4.5 or 6, depending on what you want. You mark out the front neckline, you mark out your back neckline. Then you come to your armhole measurement from this point to the chest line, divide by 2. You come in by ½ inch or 3/4 inch, depending on what you want. Then you connect it to your points here and down to your armhole. That will be for your front body armhole measurement. And for your back measurement, you just follow the line already created and you are done. One last thing you need to do is, this is just for your pattern. So when you want to do the measurement for your fabric, you will come up neckline here, your shoulder measurement by ½ inch. That is the measurement you use for your seam allowance. Then you connect this way. So this ½ inch measurement here is for your seam allowance for your shoulder measurement, and then you cut out. So let's cut this out. Well, when you want to cut out the pattern, make sure you cut out your back measurement first. Okay, cutting out our back pattern. Okay, this is our back pattern. And then to save your pattern paper, you can just slant it this way, and then for the upper one, you just cut out your initial front neckline, and then you cut out your initial front armhole. So here you have our front and body. You can name it front. Oh, sorry, my marker pen isn't showing well. And this is the back. Then, but you need to take note while describing all your patterns. You can write here that here will be on fold, because you fold your pattern, and then here will also be on fold. But take note, since you'll be having a zipper for your back allowance, when you are using this pattern on your fabric, you leave in 2 inches or 1.5 inches for your zipper allowance, and then you start placing your pattern to create your back pattern. But for the front, you don't need a zipper allowance, except you need a zipper in the front. Then you do the same method of the back in your front, just 2 inches, and then you are good to go. So that is how to make a basic pattern. So thank you.